What's up, everyone? I'm Jared Harris, and you're listening to episode 57 of Beats by Jer. Today, I am joined by my good friend Dadbodd The Storyteller, and we will be discussing Kendrick Lamar's breakthrough album, Good Kid, Mad City. Um, this is an idea I've been toying with for a very long time, the idea of sitting down with other artists and discussing records that we have a mutual love for. If you go way back to the season two premiere, I was joined by Mike Biase and John Wiskin, and we discussed Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. And that's kind of where this idea has found inception. It's just been kicking around and kicking around. And um, it makes perfect sense for me to want to continue to investigate the work of Kendrick Lamar. And I couldn't think of a better person than Dadbod, the storyteller. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, dude, my pleasure, man. It's awesome to be here. It's
It's
awesome to talk
great to
about
have you
this.
here.
Thank you.
Before we begin, why don't you tell the good people a little bit about yourself and your work?
My name is Dadbodd The Storyteller. I'm a songwriter. Yeah, and I live in Sudbury, Ontario, and I create music. I create music videos. I'm really into the arts, so I write scripts. Yeah, just all around artist, I guess, and obviously a big fan of Kendrick. So yeah, that's a bit about me in a nutshell.
Sweet. Well, with that, let's get to it. Good Kid, Mad City is Kendrick Lamar's sophomore album. It was released on October 22nd, 2012 via TDE, Aftermath, and Interscope. It features production from Dr. Dre, who is listed as the executive producer, Pharrell, Hit Boy, Soundwave, Just Blaze, and so many more. It was a pivotal record when it was released. Um, it peaked at number two on the Billboard 200, and it was number one on the rap charts. Since then, over 10 million copies have been sold, streamed, however you want to measure it. And it is actually, I think, as of this January or like last December, it's now eligible for diamond status, making it Kendrick's first diamond certified album. Good Kid, Mad City is critically acclaimed. It's fan acclaimed. It's among the best albums of its time, and I would say it's aged incredibly well. Um, and Rolling Stone in 2020 and 2023 listed it as 115 of their 500 greatest albums. Um, and Rolling Stone also in 2022 named it the greatest concept album ever.
Wow,
Yeah, I
that's
learned a
wild.
lot. I learned a lot listening to this album that I'd forgotten about or didn't know in prep for this episode.
Nice.
But greatest concept album,
That's wild, but I understand why.
I understand why. How do you feel about concept albums in general?
I like them. I like the idea of a concept album. I like to just sit down with a body of work and I just want like a whole story, a whole universe when I listen to an album. I mean, they don't have to be concept albums, but I do enjoy having like a whole meal in front of me, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Where they're all kind of linked up and everything kind of tells a story. Obviously, Dad Bod the Storyteller, I'm a fan of stories, so yeah.
I like the concept of concept albums. I often don't like the delivery.
Oh,
Um, Often I find like a lot of concept albums in the sake of maintaining the concept that to me, concept albums often fall into two boxes. And I wish there were more like this record where it blows past these sort of pitfalls. But I find that concept albums either, for me at least, and again, like I recognize a lot of work goes into making an album, like making music that's unified by a story. That's an art form.
oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'm not knocking that, but I find that sometimes certain songs that aren't as good as the concept itself or as the other songs on the album get included into an album because of the importance or weight that they bring to the narrative.
Right.
Um, and then sometimes I find that the narrative itself is too weak. Like people want to say they have a concept album, but really they have like a few things that are thematically linked, but there isn't really more than that. And it's very shallow and they really try and force the idea like it's a concept, but it's like it's not. Um, I don't know.
Right.
I find a lot of times concept albums kind of fall into those two camps for me. This one doesn't.
No, this one is like it's almost like a coming of age story in a way. It's like it's a short film. Like, you know what I mean? There's so much, there's characters.
So
It's really impressive.
it says that on the album cover, a short
Right.
film by Kendrick Lamar, which is so curious because there never was like a visual, like there were music videos, but never was like a visual thing to it.
Yeah. But man, when you listen, it feels like you can kind of see it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
He's so good at describing and like even within the song, she's like talking about what's going on and making references to the story. It's really cool, man. It's a really interesting approach to an album, and like, yeah, I can see why it's one of the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and I mean, this is the album that made Kendrick,
Yeah,
King Kendrick, like the Kendrick that we know now, the guy that's done the Super Bowl.
yeah,
This is the album where it wasn't just a great album, but he has that cosign from Dr. Dre. The deluxe edition has cosigns from Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige. It's cool that he brought the whole TDE crew with him, but like you have some of the biggest people of the late 90s, early 2000s hip hop,
that co-sign this
like
thing. Yeah,
like giving him his roses.
yeah, yeah, and I love that it's like an introduction to him. I know that like obviously Section 80 came first,
Hmm.
but
And
this
then all the
album,
mixtapes before that.
right? Yeah, and like if you listen to like Overly Dedicated, is that I think that's the name of the mixtape.
Yes.
There's like little moments on that mixtape where you could tell he kind of took ideas and he's like, I'm gonna go down this path. Like if you listen to songs like Average Joe, there's like these moments in that song where he's telling stories about the block and running into some trouble in the street, and then he's got people kind of that have his back. And there's a line where it's like, I don't want to go too deep into that album, but there's a line where it's like, if you try to kill me, they'll kill you. It gets deep, and he kind of invites you into that world. And then I find
Hmm.
with this album, it's like, here I am, Kendrick, and here's where I come from, and I'm gonna put this out on display for you. And it's so well done, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Section 80 um was a little bit of that like that and like you have that concept and you have the different perspectives of the different characters that he talks about and raps from their perspective.
Right.
But you don't have the depth of Good Kid, Mad City. Like he really outdoes himself.
Yeah, dude. I'd say like Section 80 kind of lacked focus, and
Hmm.
Good Kid, Mad City just like it's like a master class on how to tell a good story. Like he's got
Yeah.
characters, he's got narrative. It's just it's so good, man.
Section 80, like it's an album. It's a good
Yeah,
album. I like it, but like uh Good Kid, Mad City is kind of like this piece. Like yeah, I think you said it best. Like it's a meal. It's everything is designed to be where it is in the place of the track listing with these songs. Like it is designed to be listened to front to back in
yeah,
order for you to like you could listen to it isolated and you'll be like, "Oh shit, that's really good." But if you listen to it fully, like every element complements something else.
yeah, man. Yeah. And from the beginning to the end, like I go back to this narrative, but I listened to it about 3 or 4 times in the last week. And like he really sets up little moments, like some of the things his parents say in the after Shireen, there's
Hmm.
like some of that stuff comes back at the end after I believe it's real. And it's like his mom, Paula, I think is her name. She touches on all this stuff that she had talked about in the first, like during that first bit. And throughout
Hmm.
the album, you kind of get him going through this and learning those lessons. And then she just reiterates at the end, like, hey, don't forget, like, you know, have a don't fall into these bad crowds, and like have a voice for these people that grow up in this neighborhood, and like things that she was kind of hinting to at the beginning. And he thought of everything, man. I don't know.
I didn't even notice that. But yeah, and like his dad in that same like the following voicemail at the end of Real, his dad is like,
Yeah,
real men, like what makes a man is responsibility and
yeah,
stuff like that. And he really does like use that as like the touchstone of like this album. But
yeah,
I didn't even, yeah, that's really cool. He does piece that together. Like first song ends, you have this little skit. Last song ends, you have this little skit.
yeah. And by the way, they were like, I don't know if his parents were like, if they're like actors, but man, just everything of like, give me that Domino's, but you know, that whole thing, dude. It's brilliant. It's so funny.
It feels so authentic.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard the record, I was like, I wonder if these are saved voicemails that he actually had, like not staged. I don't know if that's true or not. Like that was just like hearing it. It didn't feel like something you could script. It felt like your mom and dad calling you, being like, "Where's the car?
Yeah.
I have an appointment. Your dad wants his pizza." Like, you know what I mean? And like the way like it's the mom calling him, but you could hear the dad in the background. Like it just felt too real.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
I mean, like maybe it's just me being like, I think it would be so cool if they were real, but they probably weren't.
well, if they weren't, they did a great job.
Absolutely. But
They
I mean,
like,
on the note of actors, I don't know if you knew this. I discovered this week because I don't know if it's his parents on the voicemail, but do you know who the older woman is, like the neighbor who leads them through the prayer at the end of Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst?
no,
It's
I,
Maya Angelou.
what?
It's Maya Angelou playing the role of his neighbor.
Wow.
I had no idea. I was like, holy shit. Like, this was
That's
a
wild.
25-year-old kid who had like a couple mixtapes and one album under his belt on an independent label. And
Yeah.
he was like so prolific that he was able to get Maya Angelou to
Uh,
play this pivotal character.
Yeah. And that's like the climax of the, I don't know if it's the climax, but it's like that moment when the choice is made for
It's
those
the
kids.
realization. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's how did he get her? Do you know? Or
I have
that's
no idea. I have no idea.
that's crazy. And that's a fun part too. I really love that. You hear them all reciting back to her and it's like, you boys need water. And it's like it's powerful, man.
Yeah, super.
And the guys that played like I forget all the there's like Day Day and YG and Lucky and all those guys that were with him
Mm,
and like they did a good job too. Like I don't know
they
how
did,
that
yeah.
it was yeah. There's not many skits that really feel like they're real
No, and
in albums.
I would say the use of skits, like obviously the album is told through Kendrick Lamar's eyes, or
Yeah.
at least if it's not his eyes, it's told through a single protagonist who is out with his friends, right? We assume it's Kendrick, but like it could be anyone. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's really cool about this record. It's kind of like what you said, it's a coming of age story in Compton. Um, it could be anyone. And like it fits so well. It's a very universal story to that community.
Yeah.
And I think it was Roddy Ricch who said that like last year. He was like if you want to know what it's like growing up in Compton, listen to Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh wow. That's got to feel great for Kendrick, man. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it
but
still stands the test of time. It's authentic, it's real.
so real. But like
Yeah, man.
like it's told through his eyes, but like we get his perspective and what he sees and what he hears and what he knows. But like the use of skits I thought was so important because we hear so much more through the voicemails. And really, most of this story takes place in a car. And
Yeah.
like he's listening to the voicemails at some point, right? And like this every skit means something, right? It's not like these like in the 2000s skits became so popular as just like a thing to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not really a big fan of skits. Like I just want to hear music.
I'm the same. But like you said, they were designed for a purpose. And
Hmm.
without them, there'd be a hole in the narrative. Like it was so focused and tight that every little piece that's in every skit that's in there has a
Absolutely.
reason.
Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to call them skits. Like that's what they are, but I don't want to call them skits, right? They're little
They're like
epilogues to
yeah,
songs, like
plot
little,
points in the story.
yeah, like every one of them is it's very cool and how it's consistently a voicemail. It's never like a conversation, it's never a scene, it's always a voicemail is a very unique way of adding that sort of like supplementary information.
Yeah. Well, there are moments in the car. Is that a voicemail when they're talking and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna head back. We should push back to the city." He's like, "Ah, man, what the fuck? Like, I want to fuck on something
Oh
too." And he's like,
yeah.
and
Hmm. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe that's not a voicemail.
I don't know if they're like all chatting there in the
Hmm.
car, and then there's that whole gunfight when he's like, "Ah, I got them," and then they
Yeah,
shoot
yeah,
Day
yeah,
Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It,
You're right. Yeah, that one's not a voicemail.
but everything else, or when he meets the Maya Angelou's character as well, I don't think that is either. But everything else with the parents,
True.
um, yeah, yeah, man. Even down to when he's There, he runs into Shireen, or I don't know if it's her cousin, but they're like, "You tell me where you stay. Tell me where your dad stay. Tell me where your grandma
Yeah,
stay,"
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all this
Yeah,
talk,
obviously
man.
that wouldn't be a voice. Okay, yeah, I take that back. But the fact that it's mostly voicemails and then a few pivotal scenes, so cool.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I want to ask you, but I don't know if we want to jump into this right away. But I wanted to know your favorite song. Do we want to wait on that?
But we could do that. We could do that.
Yeah,
That's a hard one.
I know.
I don't know. My favorite song. I am very sentimental to Backseat Freestyle.
Okay,
I don't know if it's my favorite song, but I think that is the first song I heard from this album. That is like my first like sort of, I don't know
and
if I had heard
entry
Kendrick. Yeah, I don't know if I had heard Kendrick before hearing that song. And like I got into Kendrick a little after this album came out. It was before To Pimp a Butterfly, but it wasn't like in 2012
when this
when this
came out.
dropped. No.
Did
Uh
you
s-
did you have a rough time getting into this album at first?
no.
No,
No.
okay,
But
okay,
I heard I think like a friend had picked me up and he had this album playing and I guess like I don't know if like Backseat Freestyle was the first song that like has when I got in the car or if like we were just talking and then this song, but it was like very hypnotizing, like just like that beat, so jangly, so rough, right?
yeah,
The like the chanting, oh,
yeah,
um,
and the energy that he
yeah,
brings,
so raw. It's so
crazy.
raw. To me,
Yeah,
like that always stands out as like a touch point. But if I had to like say like a favorite song,
it's tough. They're all so good.
like
I thought about this a lot the last couple of days.
yeah, like Good Kid is thematic and like his flow is so good on that. Mad City is also kind of like resembles the energy of Backseat Freestyle.
Yep.
But then you have like the art of peer pressure and like we were talking earlier this week, the instrumentation that you were saying and like just the beat and everything. And again, like the flow, the narrative based storytelling on that song is so good. And then like lyrically Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is just brilliant. Like a 10-minute, 12-minute rap song.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But like it's not the one that I put on. I
I don't
think I'm
put
the
it on
same.
either, but I won't skip it either. You know what I
I'll
mean?
never
Like,
skip it, but like
no,
if I'm just putting on something quick because I have a short drive, I don't start with that song.
no.
You know what? I might
It's
say
hard.
I'm gonna say Mad City.
Okay. That is a good one.
What about
Which
you?
I thought about it a lot and I would say Art of Peer Pressure.
Those were the two I was wavering between.
Yeah, there's something about just even the hook on that song where it's just him like they're shit talking and he
Mm,
somehow found a way to make it catchy where you're like I sing along with it. Like when he's like do like I go with it. I'm like, oh, how the fuck is this catchy?
it's not a
Just
hook, but it's a hook.
it's exactly it's so impressive, man. In the beginning where it's like everybody, like that whole bit, and then it goes into that
Mm.
really gritty bass line and or well, that synth, like low synth. It's like, oh man, every time it gets me.
So I have a theory about how he uses music on this album.
Okay.
And let's ignore Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter. Um, Actually, before we ignore that, before we go to this theory, do you know why it's called that, or at least why someone on Reddit believes it's called that?
Master Splinter's daughter. No.
Yeah, I wish I came up with this myself because I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's because the dudes that like beat the shit out of him, that jump him at the end of the song, are her siblings, her brothers. So the explanation said that the dad is a hood rat and he's
Oh,
got sons that wear colors and are quick to attack people.
oh shit.
So she's Master Splinter's daughter.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, that's like so out of the box. Like I've always looked at this title being like, what does
That have to
Splinter have
do.
to do with it? Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. God bless Reddit.
Right?
I love it.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd have a podcast if it wasn't for that. Like so many ideas.
come from the yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a
Or
cool
like so much
forum too.
reassurance. Like, am I just making this up? Am I thinking too much about this? And then like you see someone else has the same theory and you're like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm running with it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But no, my theory about the music. Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, we're gonna ignore that because it is the opening song, but it doesn't happen at the beginning of the story.
Right.
Um, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is technically the opener.
Yeah.
I guess technically Compton is the opener because it ends with him saying, I'm gonna take the car. Um,
Oh, right. That's right.
yeah. Which is super cool because like it starts with Shireen, which at the beginning of Shireen, like if we're to paint a timeline, the beginning of Shireen is the prayer that we hear at the end of Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst. So it kind of starts with not the end, but almost the end.
Right.
And then the last song, if you don't count any of the deluxe tracks, Compton, ends with a voicemail where he's calling his mom saying he's going to take the car and he's going to be back in 15
15
minutes.
minutes.
So it
Yeah.
ends with the very beginning. It starts with almost the end. But if we kind of put it in that timeline, if Compton is first and he leaves with the car, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is like the second song still. But like if we think about Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, it's this very lush instrumentation, right? You know,
Yeah.
the dad says in the voicemail, put
Yeah.
my motherfucking oldies back on.
Yeah.
Um, like it's so vibrant, it's so cheerful, it's very optimistic. And he's like talking about how, you know, he's just kind of living this life, but like he's got his path.
Right.
And then he leaves his mom's car and gets in his friend's car.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Backstreet Freestyle comes in and automatically like there's this huge shift in the energy and in the flow, right? He's not rapping the same way and the beat's not the same. It goes from this very uplifting song to this very moody, brooding, aggressive song. And he goes
Yeah.
from rapping about his path to rapping about like money, girls, street stuff.
Braggadocious and with the
Yeah,
homies. Like
yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
yeah.
exactly. And then it goes to the art of peer pressure. And I had this realization because the art of peer pressure at the very start is very lush. And it's like, I'm going to tell a story. And like, you know, he's kind of talking about these things like, you know, like smoking on the finest dope, drink until I can't no more. But it's still very lush and it's not criminal.
Yeah.
And then like the moment he gets to the actual story, that bass that you like comes in and the beat is so stark, it's so cold, it's so dark. And
Yeah.
it's all about them driving around and casing houses and breaking in and evading the cops. And I think he uses music,
To
like
set the
the tone of the music
yeah.
to show that there's this sort of duality, not just lyrically, but like within him, like, you know, he's got his own path and he's on his own vibe. Bitch, don't kill it. But like he gets in his friend's car and you know it's the art of peer pressure, but shit, I'm with the homies.
Right.
And I think that's a really cool way that he starts off the record with this sort of duality lyrically and musically.
Yeah. Now that you bring, I never really thought about it, but now that you bring it up, it's a big shift, and you don't realize because you're like these are just two bangers, but
Hmm.
there is definitely a change. You can tell in Backseat Freestyle like there's an attitude now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
so aggressive,
yeah.
especially like that bridge section.
Oh yeah, yeah. When it gets I want to go into it there. Rolling on a good grind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
can't go marry mine, biatch. Yeah, that
That
part's
like the line after that that it kills me every time. I look like OJ killing everything for pussy. Oh my God, I laugh at that every time.
yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, he's so oh man, he's slick with words. I can't
He's
even
slick, yeah. But
very
like
slick.
the music on this really gives the direction as well.
What comes after Art of Peer Pressure?
Um Money Trees.
Money Trees. Okay. Which is another just phenomenal tune. That could be probably the best tune on the album too. On it, like that would be one that is probably up there with Art of Peer Pressure for me and Mad City, I'd say.
I don't know if I'd put it up there. I really
No?
like it. Yeah, I really like it. And like J-Rock really shows his worth.
Yeah,
You know, like he really like it's like he knew the stakes were high and he like really delivers. He really earns that feature.
absolutely.
I like the song a lot. I don't think I'd put it that high,
Oh no, okay.
but I think it's like it's important to the story.
Yeah.
Like the idea of creating these motivations and the struggle and the competition for escapism, but also the competition for, his attention.
Yeah. And then from there you go into poetic justice, I believe, right?
Yes.
That I can't place. Maybe you can help me figure that out. I don't really.
I was
I.
hoping you'd help me.
Is it a way? Is it just because they needed to get Drake to get that cosign from him because he was a little bit more successful at the time or a little bit more popular, I'd say at the time.
I think he was a lot more. I know we're both Drake haters,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think, we can't say he was like he was a lot more successful at the time, right?
Right.
And I think because Drake brought Kendrick out on
That
that
tour there.
tour, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if this was a stipulation, like you got to put me on the next record sort of thing, or maybe it was Drake being a good guy and like giving him a favor. I don't know. To me, this song is, yeah, it is the least thematic. It's hard to place. And it's the only thing I could think of, and I've never thought of this before, is that it's Kendrick writing a love letter to hip hop, kind of like what he does in Gloria on GNX.
Right.
And to me, it's not that apparent in his first verse, but the second verse that he raps, so I guess the final verse of the song, is much more about the love for the game. And I think it's the idea that like hip hop is born from these streets, but it's his ticket out of Compton, and indulging in this lifestyle is kind of where he gets his ideas from, and these experiences have shaped him, and that's also like what he's using to get out of there.
Yeah. Okay.
I think like that's the only thing I could draw, and like that was really digging. I do find it funny though that like leave it to Drake to hear the first verse and be like, oh, it's all about a woman, and like Drake's verse has nothing to do with the song or the record if the song is told through that lens.
Right.
And then
His.
Kendrick almost comes in with the redirect in that final verse of like, no, 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 we're not talking about a girl in a sundress. We're talking about this life, this experience, and like what I'm writing, my pen.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never thought about it since then. Like I was trying to really make sense of that song. Like you said, it's one I've never been able to piece together. So maybe I'm digging too hard. But it's
But
like one that I was trying to make sense of. And then, I heard Gloria and I was like, has he just been like songs like this, been talking about his love for the game for over 10 years now? Like,
right. And hidden under the like, I guess the guise of it being about a girl or you know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah. I think you're pretty. I would say that's a pretty good look at poetic justice. Like I would agree with that. Like I'm thinking back to some of the lyrics and he's talking about his pen. He mentions his pen in the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then from there, I guess it's good kid.
But also like, I'm sorry, just before
No,
we move
no,
on, right? Like that one line that kind of reoccurs, if I told you that a flower bloomed in the dark room, would
would
you
you
trust
trust
it?
it? Yeah.
Um, And again, like I could never right my wrongs unless I write them down for
For
real,
real.
right? Like
Yeah.
write my like make right of my wrongs unless I write them down like in a song.
Yes.
And I think it's that idea of like experience, the disparity between what he's doing and what he's trying to do, but also the disparity of like what he's trying to do, he needs to have done these things. Like you don't get an album like Good Kid, Mad City unless you have lived that life.
Right.
Like speaking to the nature of authenticity, but also his desires to not live that life.
Yeah, which is kind of it's crazy that the life that is inspiring the art is the life he's running from.
Hmm. Hmm. And like these experiences that have shaped him, that have given him that exposure to opportunity to hip hop, right? To that
Yeah.
that very authentic West Coast, like he doesn't see like we see hip hop as outsiders, right? As people that listen
Right.
to it, but we don't live that life and we're not from there. And he, grew up seeing that lifestyle, seeing that culture in full effect, being a part of it with from within. And like it's I think the song is one way of being like, this is the stuff that I am, but this is how, how I'm trying to get out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm gonna go back and listen to it again with that in mind. But yeah, I think you're onto something, man.
I mean, I feel like I'm grasping at straws on that one, but
I
it's like the only thing I could pull.
Yeah, I agree. There's really no other way to place it, and I think you're onto something. And just the idea of it's called poetic justice. It's like got this poetic justice. What is that? That means that's kind of like an oxymoron type of thing. The idea of poetic justice. What does that mean?
Poetic justice.
Do we
I
need
don't know.
Google here? Pull up Google. To
This
me,
is like
it's
we need someone in the booth, like
yeah, yeah.
Jamie.
Where's
Jamie,
Jamie?
can you check in on that?
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll come back to that. I don't want to like sit there and hold everything up just to
That's
check what.
fair. Yeah.
But if I find something, I'm just curious because even the name of the song, it's like a fact of experiencing or a fitting or deserved retribution for one's actions. A fitting
Hmm.
or deserved retributions for one's actions. So he deserves the life he's after. I don't. We can go down a whole rabbit hole
Yeah.
here.
Or possibly he deserves the life that he lives currently.
Oh, because in the narrative of the story, he's right in the middle of he's yeah. There's
Like
no
he's the good kid in the mad
in the Mad
city.
City.
He's a sinner who's probably gonna sin again.
Yeah,
And I mean, the album kind of ends on a choice, right? Like we don't know, like we know thematically where he goes. Like Real is pretty clear, but like the voicemail from his mom that you were talking about at the end of that song, is something like I think it ends with like, if I don't see you tomorrow, I just hope that you did what you had to do, and it
yeah.
kind of leaves on that like, after they shoot, I forget which one of his friends dies, but like
Day
after,
Day.
yeah, after Day Day gets shot.
Yeah,
um. After he gets shot, and they're like ramping up to go retaliate, and Maya Angelou comes in, you guys are dying of thirst, and like it's clear lyrically that he's not like that has ended that they're not going to get
yeah,
revenge, but there is like that sort of like closing where it's like, if I don't see you tomorrow, I hope that you did what you had to do. And it's like maybe what he had to do was actually go get revenge, or maybe what he had to do was abstain from it. And like there is that sort of like, it's not a cliffhanger because we know where it goes.
yeah,
But like it is a redemption story, and we kind of get the sense that he does get his redemption, but it does technically with the voicemails end with that idea of choice.
yeah. And I like that it's kind of open ended like that, and it
Hmm.
because it kind of represent, like you said, it could represent any kid.
Yeah.
So maybe like it's up to the listener. Like you're gonna come to a choice at some point. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what are you gonna choose, right? Like we don't know what I chose, but you can kind of guess what I chose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like that.
Um, and then we have what? Good Kid and Mad City, two separate songs, but
Kind of really close. They're very
like it's one with like you can't have one without the other.
yeah.
Like thematically, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, Good Kid is uh, I like the way that the Good Kid is kind of like well, what are your thoughts on Good Kid? Let's start there.
Um, I like the duality of like to me this is like really like life in Compton is two paths, or maybe not two paths, but like he clearly expresses that he's not in a gang.
Hmm.
He's expressed that earlier, but he's not stranger to the funk neither. I
Right.
think, does he say that in Good Kid, or is that
I
an
think
earlier
so. And
song?
Stranger
Yeah.
to the I really
Yeah.
doubt it. No, no, that's I
That's peer
really doubt
pressure.
it. It is.
That's
Yeah.
peer pressure. So he does
Yeah.
explain that earlier.
Yeah.
Um, but like to me, like what really stands out is at the end of the first half of the song, "Step on my neck and get blood on your Nike checks." Um, But then at the end of the final verse, it's the symmetry of "step on my neck as hard as your
Your
bulletproof
bulletproof
vest."
vest. Yeah.
And to me, this song is like he is caught in the middle. Like he's victimized by the gangs, because he is loosely affiliated with certain people who have affiliations or who are part of different gangs. So he's the victim in that sense, but also he is the victim of a over police, over racially profiled community, where police violence or police harassment is so common. And again, because of the community, because of the color of his skin, they associate him with gangs, and he receives that violence and that harassment despite being the good kid.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like painted with the same brush as everyone else, I guess, in the
Hmm.
community. Yeah, which is super powerful because again, you can become a victim to like this the stereotype of like, oh, you're a thug. You come from this area, you're that kind of person. And maybe you're not, but then eventually maybe you start to believe you are, right? Like after so much of like these after being kind of placed in that under that umbrella for so long, maybe at some point you go, well, fuck you, man. Maybe I am that way, you know? So
Yeah,
that's
shit. There was a line in a different song. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. You keep going.
okay. That was kind of the thought I had when it came to that song. It's just kind of you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. He's not part of a gang, but he still seems like he is, or people think he is, right? So, and at the beginning, is that the song where he's like, "If Pyros and Crips all got
Yeah.
along"?
Oh, no, no, no. That's Mad City.
That's Mad City.
That's
Okay.
Mad City. Yeah. What a hook that is.
Oh my God, so good, so good. But yeah, like that you're not in it, you're not affiliated, or maybe you are a little affiliated because I think he does say in Overly Dedicated that there are some that's a Pyro hood to be exact. So I think there might be some
Mm.
affiliation there with Bloods, but to try to be like to try to stay on the fringes and not be a part of this stuff, but then obviously the police and everybody in that area, they're gonna just kind of paint you with that brush and you got to live with that. Uh,
Yeah. And
you
like
know?
it's very cyclical, right? And like
Mm,
the police act this way, which further pushes marginalized people into gangs for safety, for security,
right.
for companionship, for friendship. And
Yeah.
then like the gangs get bigger and the gangs do more stuff, and that invites and like from the eyes of legislators, it justifies the over policing of these communities. Um, Right. And like
Yeah.
it all goes back to the Reagan era, to the war on drugs, and how like, before that Compton was a white suburb just outside of LA. And then as African American families started to move in, you had the whole white flight thing and housing prices dropped significantly. So more black people moved in.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Compton was
Wow.
like primarily white, and even though it's in South Central LA, like it was considered suburbs.
Wow.
Um, and I read this amazing book years and years and years ago. It's called The New Jim Crow. I'm blanking on the author's name, but it's all about the war on drugs and
Okay.
what was done, how did these policies take place, and like the full extent of them. Because I think most people hear the war on drugs and they're like, drugs are bad, get them off the street. But like they look in that book, they look a lot at Compton and like the reality of it. And like there were certain laws that were created and passed in the name of the war on drugs that like really impoverish and victimize this community further. Like for example, if and I mean like I read this book years and years ago. So I'm paraphrasing greatly, but like if you had someone in your house that was found with possession of drugs, any of your assets could be seized by the police permanently, like your house and your car
Oh
could
my
be
God.
seized. So like if your dad goes to jail is convicted of like drug possession, right? And now it's like a single income household, single parent household. The government could technically have seized your house or seized your car, which is obviously going
Holy.
to like either impoverish you or greatly affect your ability to get to work and pay for like legal fees or anything else that your family needs. Which obviously then you get kids that are like in these vulnerable positions, and they feel victimized, and you have gangs that are like, hey, we have friends, we have security, we look out for each other.
Yep.
right? You had like over aggressive raids, obviously. A good visual is like the opening scenes from the Straight Outta Compton movie, like the way that they would use like police copters and just like go house to house, so like raiding, looking for things. Like there's like a crazy amount of stuff that like police departments were given power to do so long as they can like paint a vague picture that it was done in the pursuit of the war on drugs.
Right.
And like it greatly eroded like civil rights and like the rights of security, safety of person, and your search and seizure rights. Like a crazy amount of stuff. So when you look at Compton, post Reagan, technically post war on drugs, but I feel like a lot of that legislation still exists, right? You're looking at multiple generations that have grown up as single income households, maybe impoverished or homeless households. That's why you get so many kids that end up living like with their grandparents or
Yeah.
like relatives because they lost their homes. And you have like kids that are dropping out of school because they have to go to work. So, like when
Yeah.
you look at it through that context, like the gang lifestyle is very appealing, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at it, like sometimes maybe it's not appealing in like I want friends, I want safety. Sometimes it might be appealing in necessity of like the only way I can get out of this cycle of poverty is by engaging in this lifestyle.
Yeah. There's no other options.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's very cyclical, right? Because then more crime happens, and then the legislators say send in more police, right? And then more further victimization happens as side effects of these laws, and then it all just kind of continues intergenerationally.
Yeah. And there's all these ripple effects. Like for you mentioned like the idea of a gang inviting people in to kind of give them friendship or give them safety. But also, like you said, if a dad is getting ripped out of their homes and thrown in jail, but now this kid's looking for a father figure. And
Hmm.
these people in this gang are
Hmm.
like, hey man, we got you. Like we'll show you what it is to be a man. We're gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
So it becomes appealing for, like you said, get me out of poverty, but also like feel like I have someone I could look up to and maybe try to emulate and grow into. Like, you know, as a kid growing up, you're looking for these people that you can look up to and that are your role models, right? And you see a guy who's got money and a nice truck, and you're like, fuck, I want that, you know?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of that. And I mean like we look at like America now and like it's so fucked up.
Oh my God.
It's so fucked up.
Oh,
But like we look at like even like 10 years ago or like during COVID with the George Floyd marches, like we obviously know that systemic oppression and racism and these institutionalized forms of racism exist and they've existed, forever.
yeah.
But like this is the setting that he's talking about, right? Like in some ways, I know like the sort of like climax of the song is like there's a shootout, right? Like Kendrick does get jumped and then one of his friends gets shot, right? But like
Yeah.
really I think the antagonist to this story is Compton itself,
Interesting.
right? Like
Yeah.
Compton is the mad city.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And like it's that place that it's that environment that houses all of this.
Yeah.
But
And
also like
he's
I have to
navigating.
say like Compton also isn't the bad guy.
No,
Because it's the
it's
people that have corrupted it, right?
and or have been corrupted
Yeah.
by living,
Yeah.
yeah, because of like what we just talked, like what you just mentioned, like yeah, that's interesting.
But like I think the line that really pieces that together is actually in Real, right? So like at the end of the album, to the point, should I hate everything I do love or hate the fact that none of this shit make me
Makes me real.
real? And like it's that idea of like, and then he follows it with Compton, which is like an anthem for the city. Like to
Yeah.
me, it's like this is the city. The city is both the antagonist and the protagonist. It's the culture and the social environment that has harmed but also made Kendrick the man he is, right?
Yeah. And it's really interesting that the city has these dual um characteristics or impacts. You know what I
Mm.
mean? The city has, it could impact you, and it's up to you really to decide how you want to be impacted by this environment. I guess is kind of one of the themes in in the story, you know?
Could you imagine being 25 and being able to like forget about the lyrics, like forget about the ability to write an album like this, but could you imagine being 25 years old and being able to so incredibly articulate this without beating it over the head?
Yeah. And yeah, well, that's like that. I think I heard this album and I was like, this guy's incredible. It was this album. And I think that's what it was that really got me is like, wow, what a unique take on this type of
Hmm.
story, but also what an honest, authentic, clear window into this world that we don't know anything about. You know what I mean? Like two white guys from Canada, but
Yeah.
like you know, but you see, you listen to this album and you're like, whoa, I'm getting a sense of what this was for him growing up. Obviously, I don't know everything, but it's very well done and it invites you in and doesn't make you feel it. I don't know. It resonates in a weird way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's strange that it resonates so well because what we grew up in is so different, but at the core of it is just like this kid who wants to do something big.
Yeah, it's a story of ambition for sure.
Yeah,
And I mean, at the end of the day, ambition is goals of overcoming obstacles. His obstacles
yeah.
are drastically different than any
Oh,
of the obstacles that we have, like I've faced, likely we have faced.
right.
But it's that idea of like trying to achieve greatness, right? And I think
In spite
like
of
yeah, and I
yeah,
mean that element you like you said earlier, like it's a universal coming of age story. That right there is very universal,
right.
right? Like the heart of it is this sort of message of greatness in spite of.
Yeah. Yeah, which and like I know, are we going to get into the deluxe version? Because if we go into Black Boy Fly, like that kind of touches on that.
Yeah, why not? Why not? We could do that now.
Yeah,
We
okay,
could we
like
could take a sidebar.
sweet. Like I for one, I really love the tunes on there. I don't know about what was it now or never. I could
Which one's that? I'm
it's
less familiar with these
that
songs. Yeah. Oh, the one with
yeah,
Mary J. Yeah, that one is
eh,
probably yeah,
it's my that's my least favorite on the entire album.
absolutely.
But everything else is just I love like obviously Women Weed and Weather. What's the recipe?
Yeah.
That's a banger. And then Black Boy Fly I found was a really interesting take on like that feeling of like I want to break out of this. I want to do something big, but I'm seeing other people do it and I feel like maybe I can't because they can. And they're able to, that means I won't be able to. And I was like, wow, what a that to me is a universal feeling of like, if they get out, I might not be able to, you know.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
found that really interesting, and that song, I understand why it's not on the album because it wouldn't fit the narrative, but it,
Yeah. I mean, thematically, I think it does,
yeah,
but like I had never really thought about the album's pacing until like we had talked about doing this episode.
right,
And it is very linear, aside from the fact that he starts with the end and ends with the beginning. Like it is a linear telling
yeah.
of a day.
It's funny, it's cyclical. You had just said like the idea of cyclical in that like when we were talking about how like the police coming in and then the police there's more and more police presence which causes more and more gang activity and then more and more police presence and there's that cycle and the album kind of becomes the cycle
Hmm.
in that sense. It's cool.
Because I mean, it could like I know I said Compton is technically supposed to be the first song because it ends with the voicemail of, I'm taking the car, but that could just be the next day.
Oh, there you go.
Like that
Yeah,
could just be, you know what I mean? And if we go with the idea that Kendrick is not rapping about Kendrick, but it's like through the eyes of a unnamed protagonist, this could be another day in Compton.
right.
But yeah,
Very, yeah.
Black Boy Fly, that's a cool song. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I really just I listened to it quite a bit. After once I heard the album a bunch of times, I'm like, I need more. And then I got into
Mm,
the deluxe and I just kept going back to that one. It's very simple. It's the beat's not overly complex. It's just kind of straightforward, but I found it was really it was well done and it really captured that feeling of like I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing. I need to get out. I want more
mm,
for myself, but I'm my own worst enemy here. And
yeah. Which I
and
mean
there's
is like I'm surprised it wasn't released as a single prior to the album, almost as like the way he uses the heart
right.
series, like all those songs that are kind of palate cleansers, because like that is almost like the way you were saying the universal desire to be great in spite of like this song isn't necessarily central to the idea to the ongoings of Good Kid, Mad City, but like to understanding the motivations and theme, like it
Right.
really demonstrates that desire in one song.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's right. That's what that song serves. It's like it puts you in the head of the protagonist as opposed to him experiencing in the album, which I find he's kind of more experiencing the world around him.
Yeah.
And where
And also
that's
like he totally could have put it as a single because even though it's on the deluxe edition disc 2, so like it wasn't the album. The Recipe was the first single that was released for this album. And that was
really?
also yeah, The Recipe was single number 1, which
Wow.
was like again relegated to the bonus songs on the deluxe album,
Yeah.
which is super weird.
Yeah. You'd think like I thought it was I guess Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe came after the recipe.
It was The Recipe, then Swimming Pools,
Oh,
Backstreet Freestyle, Poetic Justice, and then Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe.
wow. Okay, well I'm way off.
And on top of that, there was like a cut. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe originally featured Lady Gaga, and she had
Really?
apparently tweeted about it. And at some point, she released her own cut, like on YouTube or something like that. I didn't listen to it. I didn't look for it. Um, but like Kendrick supported her decision to do that. But
Okay.
he decided to take the song in a different direction. But the fact that the first single was The Recipe, which is one of the few songs directly produced by Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
um, it leaves me curious of like, was there a separate album, kind of like what we were talking about with GNX and like the idea of like, was there an album and then everything happened and he made a new album super quick? Was there an album before Good Kid, Mad City that had all these bonus tracks that was just kind of like a rap album, a collection of songs, really good songs, but just a collection of songs? And he was like, this is the album. He puts out The Recipe, and then he's like, I need to do more. And he scraps that entire, what was supposed to be an album, like with The Recipe as the lead off single, with Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe featuring Lady Gaga,
And the
scraps whatever
right.
that album is and creates Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
that's
again, like then there's a song you were telling me about earlier this week. I'm just not familiar with it nearly as much. Cartoons and Cereal, right?
oh
Which
yeah.
they couldn't release because of the sample clearance, right?
That's what I heard. Yeah, there was because you've heard it though?
Yeah, it's super cool. I like
Oh
it.
yeah. There's all these little like, Wile E. Coyote, like all these little clips from Looney Tunes and stuff. And I think he
Yeah.
had a rough time with that. But man, that song, whew, that is like probably one of my favorite all time. Like the energy in that song is pretty
I
crazy.
can't
And it
believe
was
I'd never heard of it until like you texted me about it this week.
wow. It's what so what did you think about it when you first heard it?
Oh, it's totally blown away.
Oh man, I love it.
Totally blown away. It's like I understand why it didn't make the record, I guess. Because again, it
Yeah.
doesn't really fit into that linear fashion, but like
No.
what a song. And like compared to I think all of the like I think I liked it better than all of the other bonus tracks.
Yeah. Yep. And it's crazy. You can't you if you find it on Spotify, it's in the
It's
podcasts.
yeah, like someone had uh just uploaded it themselves as a podcast. I think there's like different rules about that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard of other songs that are in that format too. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's but yeah,
Some of the Kendrick songs that were for the Drake beef that were not released on Spotify are also podcasts on Spotify. Like someone else
right,
has uploaded them.
right. I think the one in LA, 616 in LA.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one.
yeah. Yeah. Cartoons fit and cartoons made me think a little bit of like average. Have you heard Average Joe's or
Yeah.
Average
Yeah,
Joe?
yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that same idea of like, kind of giving us a bird's eye view of what he's going through and what his world is like a little bit in
Hmm.
cartoons and cereal. Yeah.
It does
Uh,
leave me curious, like these songs that were left off, and like again, the recipe being the lead off single, it does leave me curious as to um if like
what else there's out there?
how deep were they into making what they thought would be Good Kid Mad City before they steered the ship towards what actually is Good Kid Mad City.
Yeah. And why?
Yeah,
Why did,
what precipitated that?
Yeah.
I was actually just writing about this because I'm doing an episode right now on Bowie's Black Star album.
Oh, nice.
And the album, like apparently when he approached his producer Tony Visconti about the album, he said he wanted to make a big band album. And obviously the album is not big band at all. It's very jazz fusion, very minimalist.
Hmm.
Um, but like apparently they were listening to Pimp a Butterfly a ton.
I heard that too.
And which is crazy because like they recorded Black Star between January to May of 2015. To Pimp a Butterfly doesn't come out until early March of that year. So I was like literally like this morning I was writing out like at what point did Bowie have a big band album and at what point and how much did Kendrick's album steer the course of what we actually received?
Yeah. That's Imagine being Kendrick, knowing that your album had an impact like that on David Bowie, who's a great, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I
Like,
mean, like David Bowie was so one of a kind, like in the sense that he was an old guy that kept with it. Like he loved death grips, you know?
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's wild to me, man. That
like
is
like
crazy.
there are so few people that are that old, like artists or not, that like keep with it and like actively seek out new things and are inspired and then like actually inspired and like take take action based off of those inspirations. There's so few people.
Yeah,
But like it made me happy to read that he was greatly influenced by To Pimp a Butterfly. Like what a cool sort of thing.
absolutely. And that album is amazing too, man. Like you could do a whole pod on that one.
I am, yeah.
Or on To Pimp a Butterfly?
Oh, no, 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 Black Star, Black
Yeah,
Star.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one day To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's a hell of a
That's an
conversation.
album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I want to ask you about swimming pools because that's one that I like, but I don't think about much. It's a good tune, but it
it's a
doesn't
great
really,
tune.
yeah,
I understand why it was a single. Like it's very catchy. That
yep,
hook, you know, like headshot, drank, sit
yeah,
down, drank, right? It's very catchy.
yep,
Um, his flow is really good. I think it's important. I think that one goes along. It pairs really nicely with Shireen, Master Splinter's daughter, as
okay.
kind of representing the temptations of
Oh, right.
of that lifestyle, right? Like Shireen is the girl that he is hooking up with or he's hoping to hook up with. And you know, like she's the girl that like she is the reason that he gets jumped because he's on his way to go see her and her brothers jump him, right?
Yep,
So she's kind of the catalyst for everything, right? Like he doesn't like he's kind of not realizing he needs to make a change in his life until that
right.
happens because he gets jumped and then his friend dies as a result of him getting jumped. And you know, that's the choice.
Yeah,
So she's kind of the whole catalyst for the arc of this album. Otherwise, you know, it is just another day in Compton.
yeah. But
Um,
it forces him to think like, wait a minute here.
is this what
There-
I want?
Is this what I want?
Right?
Yeah,
Do I want to keep like I like you were saying with like Black Boy Fly, like do I want to actually break out of these cycles or do I want to continue precipitating them?
yep,
She's like this sort of like lustful embodiment of the trappings of this lifestyle, right? Like he can like just hook up with her despite her brothers that beat the shit out of him and he could keep pursuing that.
yeah,
And you know, he talks about it in the first song and he doesn't know if it's love or lust or whatever, right? But like he's going for it. Um
yeah. And then in
and
swimming pools, he talks about it again, kind of.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's I was just about to say, like swimming pools is obviously talking about like the pull of alcohol and like as a form of escapism. And we could look at Shireen as escapism through sex and the idea of this sort of like the only way that you can kind of continue living in this cycle is through these moments of escapism, whether it be through Shireen or whether it be
beat them
through,
up.
why are you babysitting only two or three shots? Get a swimming pool full of liquor and dive in.
Yeah.
But then like the ending of swimming pools, I think is super cool because that's where he kind of like shifts the tone. Like
Hmm.
everything he's rapping again, kind of with that, like the music reflects everything. Like everything he's rapping in swimming pools is kind of bouncy, it's kind of dancey, it's kind of a club tune. And then you have that sort of outro. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the outro isn't on the single. I feel like the outro is just on
The
the
album.
album.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And like the outro has got that whole thing where like you have that voice that's like, where's she taking you?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's drinking and like like the alcohol and the pursuit of these sort of easy forms of escapism, whether it be Shireen, whether it be uh binge drinking, alcoholism, right? Like it's that it's taking you into that cycle rather than out of it.
Yep. Yeah. That and the ending is like you say, the ending, that last little bit, that outro is perfect. And you see that the decision. He's like, do I keep doing this? Am I gonna keep taking this stuff that's
Yeah.
corroding
All
inside
I
of me?
have is my appetite for
All I
failure.
have in life is yeah.
That line is so powerful.
Yeah. I want to listen to that now. That's when I was kind of like not into as much because I'm like, it feels like the mainstream hit of the
Yeah.
album.
Like it
But what
makes sense that it was a single.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. What did you think of the I find it's like the Damien from DMX inspired voice he does in the second verse. He's like, okay, now open your mind up and listen to me.
I never pieced that together. 100%. That is so, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it like
Yeah.
makes me think of that a lot. I'm like,
I've never
whoa,
thought about that once.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever my buddy was a big fan of that tune, and when I heard it, I'm like, holy fuck. And I heard that
I
Kendrick
love
really was
DMX.
me too. And Kendrick
Yeah.
was a big fan of him.
Yeah, he was. There was a line on this where he kind of references something.
Oh, really?
There's a
From
line somewhere on this album where he references uh a DMX song or a DMX album title. I can't remember which one now. I don't think I wrote it down.
okay.
I didn't think it had like significance other than like that's a cool nod.
Right. Did,
Um
could they talk about Jay-Z albums too? I think in Peer Pressure. Yeah,
yeah. Bumping Jay-Z's
album Looking
album.
Distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he quotes Nas in Sing for Me.
Does he?
Yeah, he says something about dreaming and then he follows it up with, but sleep is the cousin of
The
death.
death, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a great line.
Absolutely.
That's a fucking
That is
awesome line.
such a great line. Dude, I
Yeah.
live in Markham and there's this trail that I run on in the middle of like the absolute suburbs. There's this little like uh park and it's someone years ago spray painted that line under a bridge and I was just like this is Markham dude what but like that line is so timeless. Sleep is the cousin of death. Oh,
Yeah, man. Awesome.
great line.
So now every time you run by, you're like, there it is, man.
There it
There it
is, keep running.
is. Yeah, don't stop. That's cool.
Yeah. um I think we kind of got distracted. We were kind of going song by song. We did Good Kid and we didn't look at Mad City.
No, we didn't.
What are your thoughts on that one?
Uh, it's just such a, it's just so pump up. It's so hype. Like just as far as like the music and everything, it just you just want to sing to it. You just want to be in it. But as far as like what it's about, um, I find it really it touches closely with Good Kid. Like it's kind of a lot of the same themes. What are your thoughts on it?
I think, I mean, you just made me think of this. Like, it's so hype. And I think, again, it's that musical embodiment, that
Yeah.
idea, and like you could compare it to like Good Kid, which is not as hype.
Hmm.
And it's that sort of musical, like that lifestyle and the easy forms of escapism, like Shireen and swimming pools. They're easy. It's easy to get into Mad City.
Right.
And like I'm not talking shit because I said it was my favorite song.
Yeah.
But like it's easy to hear that and be like, "Oh, like yeah." Like
Yeah,
it's you're like, "Holy shit, what's that?" Like it pulls you in.
absolutely.
You know, the beat pulls you in. Um I was gonna
And
say
it,
it's a Pharrell beat, but no, that's Good Kid. Good Kid is Pharrell.
good
But
kid
like
for
it pulls you in and it's so loud, it's obnoxious. And like again, it's that sort of duality. It's just like backseat freestyle. Like you hear that and you're like, oh yeah, I could get down with this.
absolutely.
Right? I could
And
I could commit crime to this. But
Yeah,
Like, it's the other songs that are, Sing for Me is a 12-minute song. It's a commitment to listen to, but
right,
it's this very healing song and this very like, let's sit down and think about our actions. And like, it's about work. It's about the challenges of not escapism, but actual cycle breaking actions.
right.
And that's much harder to do. And it's
Yeah,
much harder to listen to a 12-minute song that doesn't have nearly as much of a grabby beat. Like I love that song, but like Mad City, like that hook at the beginning, it's you're not going to not listen to the whole thing, you know?
no, no. You hear that and you're like, I'm in.
It's exactly. It's a
Yeah,
very easy choice. And
right.
again, like
Yeah,
it's just like that sort of like that musical thing where he makes the lifestyle he's trying to escape from so enticing to capture that
yeah.
reality. I didn't
That's
think about that one with that song until like you said it's like hype. And I was like, yeah, it is hype.
yeah, man. And there's some cool little like that one part when his voice changes.
Oh, at the end?
And then as the third verse, he's like rapping, and it's like his voice goes from like his to like other voices and back. Like,
Like super low and super high.
yeah, like
Yeah.
cool little like shit like that where you're like, whoa, like it just,
You know what?
yeah,
Years ago, you told me that Kendrick really uses his voice like an instrument.
yeah. I find
And
he,
like I have not shaken, like I remember you telling me that. And whenever I like really listen to his work, like you can really hear it. And like I think he like this album, it's like a guitar player that got like a whole new pedal board.
right,
Like the way he's using different tones and inflections and flow patterns is so um interesting.
yeah, and refreshing for the time when it came
Hmm.
out. There was nothing like it, and I'll be honest, I kind of gave up on rap for that whole like the whole bling era. I was like, I like Lil Wayne, but I was like, eh. And I heard this, and I was like, whoa, this is a whole new way of approaching it. His voice is so it's
Hmm.
versatile, and now like he's just leaned into that more and more. Like when you're listening to like obviously GNX, like that Body song is on Spotify now, and I was
What?
yeah, it's one of those podcast type tunes,
But the
and
whole thing or just
well,
like
it's
the
about a
clip?
minute. It's a
So it's
minute,
like the same clip that was on YouTube.
pretty much, yeah. But
Okay.
you really hear his voice, and you're like, God damn, like he's not afraid to try different cadences and different like inflections, and
I found it.
it's did you? Yeah.
Um,
It's good, dude. And like I don't know what he's saying. It's hard because he's going so fast. And then when the bass kicks in, it's like it overtakes his voice. It's
mm,
it's awesome. I gotta go and do a deep dive on that one too there. But
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, this song pairs so well with Good Kid, right? Like
yeah,
the duality of like Good Kid is I'm not in the gangs and I'm victimized for that. I'm not in the gangs and I'm victimized by the police for that.
right.
Um, and then, you have this song where it's like you killed my cousin back in 94. Fuck your truce. Like the whole idea of like this sort of like it's all cyclical, it's all generational, right? Like you're moving backwards if you suggest you got to sleep with a tech, go get
Yeah,
a chopper and have a doctor on
on
speed
speed.
dial, I guess.
Yeah. What? Oh, that's another wicked line. That's a
Right. But
and after that, it yeah,
he just like he knows like he's highlighting what's wrong with this lifestyle while also walking us through it, right?
yeah,
And like almost the necessity, right? Like gun ownership is like he's saying like it's wrong, right? Like nobody needs to have a gun, but you also can't be the only person in
who
this
doesn't
society who doesn't have a
have a
gun,
gun?
right? You
Yeah.
have to now, right? Um,
So interesting, man. So like it's really smart.
what do
You
you
know,
think of one of the final lines? Kendrick, aka Compton's human
human
sacrifice. What do you
sacrifice.
think about that line?
Oh man, I never really thought about it. I don't know. I don't even know what do you think? I'm at a loss for words. That's a very good question.
I don't know.
He, like
Because he
he's going to
doesn't,
be the one to sacrifice himself for the change, maybe,
but he doesn't, right?
but he doesn't.
Like is the sacrifice abstaining from the easy lifestyle?
Oh, maybe.
But that doesn't sound as hard. That doesn't, I mean,
No,
it sounds hard, but like it doesn't sound as like cool as, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it has like a sort of like crucifixion to it. Like it has like the weight, like that line, like Compton's human sacrifice
Sacrifice.
has like this sort of biblical,
Yeah. The stakes are high when
yeah.
yeah. But I don't know, like that's good writing, right? Like just make the stakes as high as I can. And okay, Compton's human sacrifice. I'm the guy that's going to be sacrificed for. I don't know, man. That's interesting. That's a good question. I think Reddit would know. Let's see what Reddit thinks.
Someone's got it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was in the song Compton, there's a line and the chapter that read 25, um, which could be a reference to Leviticus 25,
Okay.
which in broad strokes, because I haven't read it, uh, I believe is the declaration that the slaves, the Israelites, would be emancipated.
Okay.
And right, the idea that like that is coming. So
Right.
I like the only connection that I could have made was that later on he makes that sort of proclamation through that 25 connection. Um and if we bring it back to Compton's human sacrifice, the idea of again like very biblical sounding,
Yeah.
but that sacrifice for a better tomorrow for his city. Um it's a cool line, but like I was like, how where is the sacrifice?
Yeah.
But then he follows that line with Compton, USA made me an angel on angel
Angel
dust,
dust.
which is one, there's two acronyms for Mad City that,
Okay, I knew the angel on angel dust. I knew that one.
yeah, like my angels on angel dust, which is again biblical and like the idea like everyone's a good kid in this city. Everyone's an angel. But the city does something to you,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Super cool acronym, so
Yep.
creative, so clever. Really embodies the push and pull dynamic. The other one that I read, and I believe it was said that Kendrick had endorsed both of these. My angry adolescence divided.
Okay. I might have heard this. I might have heard that too. Okay, that's good too.
Yeah, like again, the idea of like just like this was his upbringing, and like there was that the voicemails of his parents at the beginning throughout and like the end, like being a man is responsibility and you got to make it to 11th grades, all of that
Yeah.
paired with going out with his friends and robbing houses.
Right. Yeah, the juxtaposition of both those. Yeah. That's the thing with this album is there's so much and with Kendrick in general, everything is so layered. Like he's just so good at layering things where it's like things could have many meanings. You know what I mean?
And he also doesn't discuss it.
No, that's the
He
other thing.
doesn't he doesn't confirm, he doesn't deny, he doesn't give additional information. And
He
more
lets
so
you.
now than then, but like more so now, like he instead of answering the question, he'll just throw something else out there and you're like, is that connected to the previous one? Is this its own thing? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And like he leaves it entirely up to you, the listener, which is super cool, but also when you're trying to like find like an answer. I mean,
Right.
maybe it's cooler that I don't have an answer, but like at the same time, you're trying to come up with something. You're like, what did he say? And you're like, oh, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, and as like a nerd, like a music nerd, you want it, you're like digging. Like I know I'm always like, what does that mean? And like you go and you try to find interviews and but
Or
in a
again, you go to Reddit and like there's some dude that has this amazing explanation. First comment is like, where did you find this? And the guy's like, ah, it's just me. And you're like, shit,
yeah.
that was so good. But like, is this anything?
But in a way it creates conversation. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
he's always got people talking about him. Instead of him doing the talking, he's allowing us to discuss like water cooler type stuff where we're
Yeah.
having these conversations and there's no answer. And like life, there's a lot of questions we don't have answers to.
And
So
I think that's where this as a concept album really succeeds because
right.
he's presented a very strong concept, a very nuanced take. Um, but he also doesn't give us the answers, nor does he really beat the themes over our heads. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Like he's
Yep.
not beating a dead horse. He gives you just enough information and then he makes it a little convoluted and that's it.
Yeah, and he
And
lets you kind of run with it. What
yeah,
do you think? Like this is yours now. I'm done. It's in your hands
which
to
is
go on.
also why I said like it could be about Kendrick or it could be just about someone else, right? Like he doesn't give us enough information to think that it is specifically his
About.
experience.
Yeah, and I think though, like I think it could. This is it. It's to represent all the angels on Angel Dust. It's to represent everybody.
Mm,
I mean, it
mm.
might not. Who knows? But in my mind, it's like this album can represent anyone. Like Roddy Ricch said, if you want a window into this culture, into this city, listen to that album because it could be anyone's experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, he's such a genius, man. He's so good.
Yeah, that's a good word for him.
He is, man. And I hate throwing that word around because I know a lot of people throw it around, but
It gets thrown around a lot. I've probably thrown it around a lot on this podcast and stuff, but like he really is.
there's something about him that like he's a master. And yeah, where people are gonna be talking about him when we're old, our kids are gonna be like Kendrick Lamar, and like, yeah, that guy's up there. He's one of the greats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Drake fan, I guess, and then you're gonna
Oh,
have like a dumb kid or something.
yeah. Oh my God. There's a show that's out right now called Office Movers. I don't know if you've seen this. It's on Crave,
I
and
have
Drake's.
not, no.
It's about these two guys from Toronto. They're influencers. I forget their name. But anyways, these two brothers in this show, they're like they own an office moving company. And in one episode, Drake's in there,
Okay.
and it's dude, I can't. I just want to slap him. I'm watching this, and I'm like, get off the screen, bro. Oh, such a tool. Anyways,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think we covered every tune. I think
No, that takes us, we're at sing for me.
sing,
Sing for
yeah,
me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We covered swimming pools.
yeah, right, right. I like the storytelling in that
I
in
like,
Sing for Me.
yeah, I like that the first two verses clearly are not like it's the only time that he's rapping from someone else's perspective,
Yep,
right? Like whether the album is his perspective or a different character's, it is a singular perspective. And then this song, you have the first verse where it's um
some guy.
some guy, I think it's his brother, like actual brother of the guy who
Oh,
was killed.
oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he mentions it in the verse. He's like, you were there for my brother, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And then the second verse is from the perspective of
the sister of a girl from the Section 80 album,
yes. Yes.
Tammy or
I forget her name.
Keisha.
Mm,
No, I wouldn't be Keisha.
no.
Anyway, I love the
No.
way he ends those verses, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
like she just trails off
I'll never fade away. I'll never fade
as
away.
she fades away, like
Yeah,
just trailing off, like she's just another person with another story.
yep.
And he gets shot mid-sentence. You know, if I die before your album comes out, pew, pew, pew,
Pop, pop,
pew,
pop, pop. Yeah,
right?
and then it's just music. It's so eerie. You're like, whoa. It was,
Yeah.
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 This is, I think it's the only, maybe the first time, it's the only time on this album where he becomes the character. He sings from a character's perspective, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's, it's the first time I heard him do it. And I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, you really were able to capture that
Yeah.
person.
And it really broadens the scope of the album.
Yeah,
Because like it's a linear story of one day, except for these two verses that are a little more than that.
right. Yeah,
It's also, I mean, like you mentioned the DMX Damien vibe of his voice. It's totally just a flip on Eminem's Stan, right? The idea of someone else writing and kind of
right.
like speaking to Kendrick, like, hey, like you were there for my brother, or like, how dare you write this verse about my sister? She was so much more than this. Like, it's totally a flip on that sort of like format from Stan.
Yeah.
Um, and then he kind of has that chance to kind of respond to it.
right
And
at the
like that
third
was just
verse.
such a yeah, and that was just such a cool way of intertwining these perspectives instead of it being his perspective on these perspectives, you know?
Yeah, he opens it up and makes it more uh, universal, I guess, to that area, to Compton, to
Hmm.
yeah. But I found those like that song, "Sing About Me" and "Real," those tunes, they're good, but they lack an energy that the rest of the album has, and I get why. But part of me is like, oh man, I wish there could have been a little bit more energy as far as like performances go for
Yeah,
those tunes. Like,
I don't feel that way about Sing About Me, but I
no,
definitely agree with Real.
yeah,
Um, like to me, Real, it doesn't grab me. The hook doesn't grab me.
no, the real,
Um,
really, really real. I can't do
yeah,
it.
it's not for me.
Yeah,
I understand that it's a necessary song for an epilogue, and lyrically what he's saying in the verses is really deep.
hmm
Like that line of like, should I hate everything I do because it doesn't make me real, but also like the idea of loving his whole experiences despite everything.
yep,
Very cool, very deep, right?
yep.
And like again, what 25-year-old is thinking of this?
I know, man. It's wild.
But to me, yeah, to me, Real is the weakest song on the record.
Yep,
I don't feel that way about Sing About Me. I love the beat, that rim shot, and like it's mellow, but it's reflective, and I think it kind of cements that idea, that choice. Like it's that sort of moment of like to me, um, Mad City ends, the dude dies,
hmm
swimming pools, they all get together and they get drunk and they're like, we're gonna go fuck those guys up. We're gonna go shoot them. And that's where the sort of epilogue of Sing About Me comes in, where Kendrick's like, where's she taking you? What's going on? All I have is my appetite for failure. And then like Sing About Me is kind of like this moment of reprieve, this moment of thought, right? It's almost like a freeze frame, and he's left to kind of like monologue on his life, on this existence. And then it kind of disrupts halfway through, and that's where Dying of Thirst comes in, and
yep,
Maya Angelou comes in at the end, and is, like it her presence where she's like, I know that's not what I think it is. Like they're holding
yeah,
guns, you know
yeah.
what
Of
I mean?
course, yeah.
And she's like, why do you boys have so much hatred in your hearts?
You're
And
so
like,
angry. You're so
yeah.
angry. Yeah,
And so like to me, like Sing About Me is like this moment of pause and thinking, do we actually want to do this? And then like there's the intervention of Maya Angelou that we assume steers them to not retaliate that night.
yeah.
Um, and I guess Real is like the thematic ending, but like to me, I agree with you on Real.
That's definitely
Sing
yeah.
About Me, I fully disagree. I think it has this reflective energy that's needed, but sure, it isn't present on the rest of the album. But man, I love that beat with the rim shot. Oh,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good tune. It definitely is. It's just the energy that to end an album, and I guess Compton does that because Compton's
mm,
like oh well, this is a tune, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
But I definitely see the use of not the use, but there's a reason why "Sing About Me" is on the album and what it does to the narrative. It's super important and it does it brilliantly. It does a really great job of like getting your I want to always go back to a story because I feel like that's what it is. But the
mm,
protagonist, there's that truth moment, and she represents that moment of like, here, look in the mirror,
mm,
make a choice. And I
yeah, yeah.
really like I love the song for that. Um, I guess going into Real right after that is just more of for me it was more like just I'm like, give me that energy, give me some energy. We made a
That's
good
fair.
choice.
Yeah,
But I,
like
I hear what you're saying though, for
the,
sure.
I mean, you could have put the voicemails at the end of Real, you could have moved them to the end of Sing About Me. And I think the same effect would have happened, where
Yeah,
he's left with that choice, that moment of pause, and that like, should we do this? Is this breaking the cycle, or is this continuing the cycle?
right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So would you say that Real is not necessary? It could have been cut.
I think it could have been cut, but I really love that line about loving or
Yes,
hating everything that you've done and that you are.
right. And
I
all this,
like I think that
yeah,
that is so like that's the line that makes Compton redeemable, right? Like that's the line that's
yeah,
like your environment that has encouraged you to seek those easy escapisms, your environment that has put you in the position to be victimized, to be racialized, to be harassed, and the victim of violence, the environment that has resulted in your friend dying earlier this night. Like that is the line that to me justifies, yes, my environment has done all that, but also shouldn't I love my culture and my upbringing and my family and the faith and everything that is also intertwined within my community and upbringing in this place.
yeah.
And like it's like to me that line from Real is such an important line that it almost redeems the song. But if
I
there
mean,
was a way to put that
in
notion into
right.
Sing About Me, it's already 12 minutes. If there was a way to put that notion in there, then yes, I would agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with that line though. And I was just blowing the snow outside, and I remember specifically for that line when I was doing it, I really zoned in, and I'm like, it catches me every time. That line, the way he says it, should I don't know exactly, but that idea, like you said, should I love, um, fuck, the idea of loving, do I love what I or do I hate the things that I love, like the Gucci bags and all that shit, or
Yeah.
do I realize that that doesn't make me me? It doesn't make me it.
Yeah.
What makes me me is like his dad said. It's your mother taking care of your motherfucking family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean
Yeah.
like it is at the end of the day, like he is kind of making a choice. Do you continue this cycle or do you follow in the footsteps of family and faith and these outside influences that are kind of like trying to push you away from that lifestyle?
Mm, yeah. Never forget. Always come back to what makes you real. Always come back to.
Mm.
So maybe it is necessary.
Maybe, yeah,
you know,
yeah, but it
but
is definitely my like there has to be
yeah,
a song at the bottom that you're
right.
like, ah, but like, like that to me is the song. Maybe it's I think it's just the beat and the hook that I'm like, I don't vibe with this.
Yeah. The hook, I feel like he could have done better.
I think so.
Yeah. But hey, man, the album, it's still a 10 out of 10.
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree. It's so ambitious and it sticks the landing on all fronts.
Yep.
Um, I like that Compton starts with the tape rewinding. So
Hmm.
like it's like cassette in his
In the van.
mom's Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
And again, like that idea that Compton actually starts the album because they had to rewind to get there,
To get it.
but
Yeah.
also speaks to the cyclical nature of like this could just be another day going out, borrowing your mom's car,
Going to
hanging out
look.
with your friends,
Yeah.
looking for
Finding a girl.
girls,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Drinking.
Yeah. Absolutely. Stealing, committing
Yeah,
robbery.
yeah,
I love in that song when he's like, we made a left, we made a right, then another right. But if we would have taken, then the cops took a left. You know what I mean? Like that,
yeah.
the way he framed that too
They
was
made
like,
a left and a right and a right.
yeah, yeah. And his mom called, what you doing, kicking it? Probably should have told her I'm about to catch my next offense or my first offense with the
First
homies.
offense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh
One
man,
one lucky night with the
with the
homies.
homies.
And
Yeah,
even though
dude.
someone ends up dead, like it is kind of a lucky night. Like it's the night that he decides to reinvent himself. It's the night that he decides to take action towards not being a product of his environment.
Yep. Eh,
Like it's a very bittersweet way of being like one lucky night, but it is in many ways.
for him. For
Yes, for
yeah,
him, of
yeah.
course. Of course, like someone did die.
Yeah. And then his mom says too, I don't know if they wanted to set it up where like she's like, oh, Top Dog called and he wants you to come by the crib with Dave or come by the
Mm,
studio with Dave. And I wonder if like that's like that it was that's when he decided I'm going after this music shit
mhm,
100%.
mhm.
I'm not doing anything else but music. That's my goal. That's the only thing I'm going to put my efforts towards. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Oh man,
I'm glad you
awesome.
picked this one.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, to Pimp a Butterfly, I feel like it's so dense and it's so political and existential and just it would be a lot. You it's a
Yeah,
it's a
and
lot.
I mean, I think Good Kid, Mad City is the last time that like all of his work has a sense of duality to it. And I
Mm,
think Good Kid was the last time that that duality was, I don't want to say, I don't mean surface level in the sense that it's basic or shallow, because it's absolutely not, but like
no.
it's very apparent that there's a duality at play.
Yeah.
And, I think in this conversation we've highlighted areas where it's not apparent, but like I think you can listen to this album and be like, oh, there's this push and pull. Will he, won't he? He wants to escape this life, but he's, but shit, I'm with the homies type thing. And then like it's kind of like what you said, like this is the last time Kendrick had to play ball.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is the last time that there's this many singles, and this is the last time that there's this many poppy hooks, and he's still playing the game, but he's like evolving the game. And, this is very much an album made by his culture, but now it's a culture defining album. Um,
Yeah.
but like when he comes out with when he comes out with To Pimp a Butterfly, like the duality is so introspective, and it's very easy to miss the duality
Yeah.
entirely.
It's
Right? It's
it's
very easy to hone in on one of the narratives and not realize that there's a reflection aspect, and that there is this personal and political duality going on. And it then, like, damn, gets even more convoluted, right? But I think this is like the last time that, again, not surface level, but it's apparent, and you could see it.
yeah. And it's a relatively easy concept to kind of get behind too. Like just to add to what you're saying, like the idea of like the coming of age story is a very like,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, boys in the hood. It's something easy to kind of get behind and be like, oh, that's what it is. Whereas to pimp a butterfly, it's like there's so much more layered in. It's like,
yeah, what is this guy talking about?
yeah, well, I mean, you got to listen a lot to really, and then,
Yeah,
so I'm glad we
yeah,
picked it too. Uh, yeah, yeah, it was a great combo, man. Great.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Is there
awesome.
anything else you wanted to like highlight or point out? It seems like we're kind of winding down, but
I'm trying to think because when I was listening to it, I'm like, oh, I want to mention that. I want to mention that. I like some of the production. Like a lot of the production was really fun. Like I mentioned, the whole voice changing in Mad City.
hmm.
Um, the it had a California sound to it, but not to the extent of GNX. You know what I mean? Like it you still felt that West Coast flavor in it, but it was his own style. Whereas
I
GNX, I
think
found
it's
he
because it was a little busier,
okay,
like in the instrumentation and the
right?
beats. Like there's a lot more going on. Like there's not a lot of boom bap,
No.
and there's not a lot of like simple melodic hook type things or samples.
Hmm.
And I mean, GNX doesn't have a lot of samples either, but like the beats are very stripped down on that album.
Yeah. And
And
like you
which
said
is
too,
very West Coast, like East Coast is very dense and more samples and stuff. And
yeah. And you had mentioned how he was using the instrumentation to kind of change the mood or the tone of what he's going through as well.
mm,
So he was kind of, I guess he was using music also to like build like a sonic landscape, I guess, around what the characters were going through in a
yeah,
way,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, no, I found the production was great. I found like,
It's super inventive because
yeah,
like it's like you said, like nobody was rapping like this in 2012, but like nobody was making beats like this.
no,
You know what I mean? Like on the fringes, like MF Doom, sure,
right.
right? But like nobody was making a mainstream hip hop and a record that's going to be recognized like at the Grammys. Not that that's a benchmark for good, but like for popularity and,
Hmm.
like for
Mainstream.
being in the conversation with the public. Like
Yeah.
nobody was making beats like this.
I think that's why I couldn't quite get. I had to listen to the album 3 times before it really clicked. So
Yeah.
I was listening. Do you know Anthony Fantano, the
Yeah.
needle
Yeah.
drop?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did. I watched his review on it, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And I listened to it, and at first I had been so removed from hip hop for like 10 years. I was like, I can't quite grasp it. Um, and then once it landed, obviously I was like, oh, well, I get it. This is fucking
Mm.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's why is like the instrumentation was so different than what was kind of in the zeitgeist, like culturally what was happening in hip hop. It just wasn't really clicking with me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
That's fair to say. Yeah.
but leave it to him to like take these ideas and make them mainstream and then push himself. And then he just continues to fucking do that with every album. Like, we'll try something different. We're going to push the
Yeah.
envelope more, you know?
But like also like how easy would it have been for him to make Good Kid, Mad City too? You
Oh,
know? Like
yeah.
instead of like because To Pimp a Butterfly is such a departure in every way.
Yep.
Like subject matter, story, the way he's rapping,
Sonically.
sonically,
Yeah.
like it's a completely different like it's a different Kendrick Lamar than the guy that's rapping about being the good kid in Mad City.
Yeah.
And like this album was so important for its time that like we talk about the skill set of a 25-year-old coming up with this and like delivering it so masterfully. Like the integrity, the artistic integrity of a 25-year-old, because 100%, at least like 10 execs were like, just do it again. And
Oh,
this is
yeah.
like a kid who was like getting money for the first time, was like getting everything he wanted for the first time.
It would have been
And
easy for him.
like how easy would it have been for him to be like, yeah, fuck it, I could do that again. Or, but like he obviously was like, no way, right? Like the integrity, the
Yeah.
artistic vision for someone that young to have,
It's impressive.
and like considering the subject matter, someone who has escaped this lifestyle with this album to then be like, I'm gonna take a risk on the next one.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then the risk paid off. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, if he would have done a good Kid, Mad City too, cool. Might have been cool. There might have been some good songs on it. But
Yeah.
this made him like, people were like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is happening? Who is this man? Like, he's unbelievable. And that just took him to the moon, man. Like, that, I don't know, but like, I don't know the stats on that album to Pimp a Butterfly, but
I don't know the stats. I mean, I don't think it's sold as well as Good Kid, Mad City. To Pimp a Butterfly to me is my favorite from him, and I would say it's one of my favorite albums ever.
yeah,
Um,
it's up there, man. It's
but
good.
I think the songs as individual songs on Good Kid, Mad City are often better.
Okay.
There are a lot of songs on Good Kid, Mad City that are so good, but I think the album of To Pimp a Butterfly is
Is
a
better.
significantly better album. But
Yeah.
as like individual songs go, like not saying that there's bad songs on there, but I'm just saying like as some of those songs I think only work in the composition of the album.
You're talking about To Pimp a
To
Butterfly,
Pimp a
some of those songs.
Butterfly,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas like you can like drop the needle anywhere except for real on
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City, and you'd be like, that's a bop.
Yep. Yep.
And not that that should take anything away from To Pimp a Butterfly, right? Because like some of those songs only serve the narrative, the theme. They build upon what was previously established. Like it's a brilliant work of art. But I
Yeah.
think Good Kid also has more commercial value in some of those songs, right? Like, they're hype.
Yeah.
They're hype, right? And I think like I said earlier, like it's now eligible for diamond certified status, but I think the album has spent like 650 plus weeks on the Billboard Hot 100. Like
That's
it's
unreal.
just refused to leave. Like it is his greatest selling album to
Wow.
date. Like it has to be. Like I don't think any of his other albums have held on to the charts
That long.
that high, that long, that consistently.
That's crazy. Wild, man. And like, damn, I thought Damn was like the one that put him on the map as far as like hits go. Was Damn the one that kind of, because I know when
Maybe.
Humble was his biggest release, I think,
Humble
right?
was that huge hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, that's wild, man. It
Yeah,
just goes to show like if that it's like you said, it stands the test of time. It aged very well.
I think so. Absolutely.
And it's going to continue, I think. I think it's a classic. I think I would put it as a
I would
classic
say it's
album.
a classic. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say it's absolutely necessary, not only for understanding Kendrick Lamar, but for the direction that hip hop has taken. Like
Hmm.
it's an essential rap record.
Yep.
Like
Absolutely.
we're over 10 years, right? We're like 14 years
14 years.
out. There's not many albums from 14 years ago that's so unanimously are spoken about.
I'd be interested to see what else came out that year,
Mm,
just to see what he was up against, what he was, what like what other albums were kind of out there and how different this one was,
that's
you know?
fair. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna do some research. I'll do some looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. This was a great conversation.
Yeah, dude.
I'm really glad that we did this. We talked about it for so long now, and it's about time.
Absolutely.
Um,
Thanks for having me, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. No, no worries, man. This was a lot of fun to do. Like, I wasn't gonna do this record with someone else.
Awesome.
Um, Before you go, where can people find you? Where can people find your music? If you dug this conversation, Dadbot is a super cool dude. He makes great music. Let him know where to find you.
You could find me on Instagram at Dadbodd The Storyteller. So Dadbodd is Dadbodd, The Storyteller. And if you want to find the music, you could find me on YouTube, Dadbodd The Storyteller, as well as Spotify, Dadbodd, always Dadbodd, like odd at the end.
Don't
Yeah,
forget
come
the double D's.
Gotta have the double D's at the end there. You gotta have it. Yeah, and then you could find I'm not even gonna go down that road. You could find me on Instagram and yeah, come chat, come say hi. I'm pretty approachable on there. Slip in the DMs. I'm always down to chat and meet new people and talk music, man.
Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me today. For those listening, thank you for joining in to our conversation on Good Kid, Mad City. Um, I would love to do more of these episodes. I joked years ago about this being a series called Classic Albums with. I would love to do more of them. If you are doing cool stuff and you want to talk to me about a certain record, hit me up. Let's talk. It might not be now, but like, let's do it. This was a lot of fun, and I would like to talk about more records with some of you. Um, but thank you for joining in. Thank you for checking this out. Please check out Dadbod the Storyteller. Um, and join me in 2 weeks for an all new episode. I'm Jared Harris, and this is Beats by Jer.